and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Angelica Malin and I'm coming to you from Sibos 2023 in Toronto. Today we're discussing the future of money and I'm delighted to be joined by Brant from NatWest. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Angelica.
Today we're discussing the future of money, but I'd love if you could bring us up to speed with what the past decade has looked like. What's been the impact of digitalization and how important has that been for consumers and businesses?
Well, it's certainly been a busy decade. I'd argue it's actually been probably a busy 20 years actually. So certainly from a UK perspective, we've seen a continuation of digitization. If you think of the things that have happened in the last 20 years, adoption of chip and PIN, NFC, more mobile adoption, digital wallets, likes of PayPal, other fintech services such as Wise, etc., alongside the traditional card programs, and all the other bits and pieces in between. So it's kind of a bit of a big question. We could spend a good half a day talking about what's been happening in the last 20 years in payments.
Building on what we've already covered, what do you think the future looks like and what steps are we going to take to get there?
I think it's driven by consumer expectations and consumer experiences. And as from a retail customer perspective, we constantly want things to be quicker, more immediate, more frictionless. So I was talking this morning about, can you imagine the idea of getting out of an Uber and then having to wait 10 minutes for your payment to complete? So we've all been conditioned as customers now to expect things to have much more immediacy. So I think payments will continue to along that trajectory. There'll be an expectation that consumer experiences will become more and more frictionless, which I think will be a challenge in some aspects because there are certain elements of payments where some friction is required and you do need a little bit of delay. But in general, a lot of the experiences from a retail perspective will be driven by consumer needs and by the experiences in which they are wanting to make a payment. So one of the examples I talk about TV licensing. You remember watching TV, not that many years ago, you used to have to buy a TV license because the options for Amazon Prime or Netflix weren't there. Can you imagine if you wanted to start watching a Netflix TV show and you had to go down the road to your post office and buy a TV license to be able to watch Netflix? Now it all happens in context. So embedded payments, in context payments, they're all the things that are here now and will continue to advance as we embed payments in more and more customer journeys.
In terms of being able to keep up, what are some things that payment providers and business can do going forwards to keep up with these trends?
I think first and foremost for me, it's about being close to the customer and putting the customer at the heart of your experiences. Understanding the customer, talking to them, recognizing how their lives are changing and therefore how payment experiences need to change. What are the pain points and the friction points in their journey? We're all busy and we all like some time back. We expect things to be able to do payment transactions whenever we are, wherever we are. We're no longer in a world of having to go to the bank branch to make a transaction. I think it's probably fair to say that probably one of our busiest branches is probably at about 7 o'clock in the morning on a train somewhere between different cities when people are commuting in, because that's when people are doing their financial admin, making payments, paying bills, paying back friends for things that they've done over the weekend together.
Mark, thank you so much for your time.
That's a pleasure. Thank you very much.